We live, baby. Swoop boys. We back. Unfortunately, the Phillies aren't. So here we are. What's good, my boy? How
Disgusting.
you been?
You already know how I've been. Currently stuck in an Airbnb on the west coast of Florida over here for the helping with the hurricane damages and stuff like that.
Cozy's
Hurricanes,
house
multiple. No, my house is fine.
Cozy's house blew away, guys. It blew away. It's gone.
Have you seen The Wizard of Oz? That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Just imagine, like,
I'm the wizard. Bro, that really happened 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
No,
you're
the Hurricanes.
You're Lieutenant Dan. I'm just gonna say this right off the rip. You missed a huge opportunity. That could have been you. Like the Lieutenant Dan guy, that should have been you, Coz.
Bro, where I live on the East Coast, we didn't even get hit by a hurricane.
So you were safe. You didn't have any worries. You had a couple raindrops, and that was pretty much it for you.
Yeah, the only thing that hit us on the East Coast was the tornadoes.
Damn, that's it. The tornado. Oh yeah, that was it. That was the crazy thing about it all. The tornadoes.
Yeah, it was like a major hurricane came 1 week and then did its devastation, and then like a week and a half later, another hurricane hit, and that's when we had to evacuate because we've been over here like 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Yeah. And then we evacuated to the East Coast, and we get to the East Coast, and it's like the residual of the storm went right above us.
Mm-hmm.
But like for some reason it brought winds or temperatures with it, and it just created like 7 tornadoes in the area.
That's fucking insane, bro.
Kind of crazy. Yeah,
well, I'm happy. Weird. I am happy you're good. You're good.
Thank you.
You're good. Good. And Maribel's good. So that's everyone's good.
She's very good.
So that's good. And now you're
she was freaking out at first.
Well, I feel like that's kind of how it is. You had to like calm her down last time too, right?
Yeah. Because I've had hurricanes, and I've been in hurricanes my entire life. A lot of people haven't. They have them in Florida, but like I've also had them up north on an island. So like when hurricanes came, we were always like, oh, we're surrounded by water. Yeah. We're gonna get screwed. So when I came down here and everyone's like, oh my God, hurricane, I'm like, okay, like
it's no big deal.
We'll see. And it's like the hurricanes are never as bad as people think they are. Or as the media hypes it up every time, and it's like,
well,
it's gonna be this crazy thing.
And I think that's kind of the problem. Like you always hear like not to get super deep here, but I feel like all the time you hear like sadly the people that pass away in these things, it's always because the media always overhypes it, and then when they overhype it, then sadly people, just get used to it being overhyped. So when they're like, you guys got to get up out of here, and they can't, and then unfortunately, maybe that time was the time they should have got up out of there, And
yeah, like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, and it's never bad. And like the one time they're like, it's gonna be bad. They're like, it's not gonna be bad. It was bad.
It was terrible. Captain.
It was terrible.
Yeah, the guy doesn't make it that time, and we don't get the captain, the Captain Dan,
Lieutenant Dan. I heard a lot of stories about him, so I don't know how I feel about that situation. I know JT was like hyped about it. Like, he was like, yo, this is crazy. Like that's kind of cool. But I heard like a lot of stories about him.
What did you hear? Sorry, I'm just trying to
like. Well, he had been arrested like 16 times or some shit. Like he had mad arrests. I saw one thing where it was like possible SA on someone.
I believe it. So this is the problem with so there's no it's like the internet finds everything out, right? Unfortunately, yeah. And like when these kind of things happen, sadly, the America or the internet falls in love with a certain character, and then they kind of come to find out that person's like actually not such a good person. But so I haven't heard that. I didn't really check into it too much, but I'm gonna say this: guy living in a boat that kind of looks a little homelessy, and has trash all over it. Probably not all the way there.
Yeah,
Probably has some shit on the resume. You know, it's kind of like that the hitchhiker guy. Bash, bash, bash.
Yeah, it's one of those things like people. The second someone like gets big on the internet, people just like jump for it and they're like, "How do we make this like the Hawk Tour girl?"
Like she should not be popular at all. Like she said
she
one
should
thing,
not be that.
and
It's
I'm
not
100% sure she doesn't actually Hawk Tua on it. So
it wasn't even funny. Like I saw the clip and I was like, "Cool, I don't care." And then like
I don't want to.
It just became this huge. It seems like not industry plants, but it just seems like media plants. Pop culture plants. Exactly. Like something happens and people are like, let's push them to the top. Like damn, Danielle back at it with the white vans. Like just skyrocket to the top. And it's like, why? Like what machine is pushing these things for this thing to become so popular? It should not be this popular. And like Lieutenant Dan I get that's more of a thing, but like
I get it seemed like a lovable
the people
character.
That get pushed.
Guy who's just, I said it seemed like why people would like fall for that lovable seeming guy, you know, maybe a little down on luck, but he's just I'm just staying here and doing my thing. And the Hawk Tua girl, I'm with you. I didn't understand it at all. I still don't get it. I've seen multiple things that she's tried to like do or like be a part of, and I don't think she's got any talent at all.
No, there's no talent. There's literally zero talent involved. It was just a thing that was like a joke that became a meme that like got blown out of proportion. And like everyone, like, bro, every time they announce something and it's her, I'm like, give it a rest already, dude. Like, this is not that funny.
Yeah, I have. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen any piece of content that like has come from her since then where I've been like, oh, I see some appease or whatever. It's like I see nothing there.
Yeah, it's like she has a podcast and it's like the number 4 streaming podcast in America, and it's like there's no way.
And I haven't seen, and this is the thing. I have not seen one like you. All right, this is the sign, and take it with a grain of salt from us. You know, once we get a little machine behind us, someone who's got time to. Once we got a guy, once we get that guy who's gonna cut up shit and do all kinds of cool shit for us, it's gonna be on. Mm-hmm. But until then, the good podcast, like that one I put in the group chat sometimes, Crash Dummies. That's a good fucking podcast. Like they put good clips out, and then like I found the clips. I would see the clips all the time on social media, and then one night I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and just watch these guys, and literally I've been hooked since. Like they're funny as hell. Like they're actually entertaining. They're funny. They're comedic. Like everything, like it's not forced. So I'm like, this is where it's at. I have not seen any clips from her podcast, any funny banter or any what I'm saying? Like
there's nothing, no redeeming quality or clip or anything from that where it's just like, that warrants all the traction it got.
It's almost like the Bobby Altoff girl. Like I don't think she's like so.
Oh, I don't think it's so cringy. Like it just seems so forced.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, now it's like kind of like a thing where it's like it's almost like she's kind of become like. Are you familiar with how people kind of see Jerry Seinfeld now?
And what do you mean?
So basically, like Jerry Seinfeld, like basically, he's just kind of like an asshole. He kind of, but not. I don't want to say an asshole because I get it, right? Like, yeah, I did something in the '90s that was hilarious. Haven't done much since. Really doesn't need to, and so but he basically he just kind of like lives his life how he wants to live his life. He lives his life how he wants to live his life. Doesn't really care for like all the extra like if someone comes up to Jerry Seinfeld and says, "Oh, I want to take a picture with you," he's good saying like, "Not right now," and it won't ruin his day. Where someone who does have fame or new fame, they'll be like, "That's gonna wait." Oh, I told a fan no. Like Jerry doesn't give a shit. It's like, hey, bro. Like
I also feel like he's reached that area where he doesn't need to.
Yeah, I feel like he's got the perfect because he's like I said, he made his money so long ago, and he's been like and rightfully so, bro. He hasn't done anything since. Like the most recognizable thing is he's like done when he's made little like appearances in Curve.
Yeah. Well, he's a writer, so I feel like the show is really big, but like he was a writer.
Yeah.
So he's written for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But there was also the thing about him dating a high schooler in the 90s.
A lot of that stuff gets brought. If you did the stuff in the early 90s or the 80s, it gets brushed under the rug pretty easily. And it's like, was there like hardcore proof about it?
No, yeah, there's like photos of them and everything. Like they like went out. They were like,
was he like
straight up
he was
dating.
Like a full-on adult, or was he like pretty young himself?
He was like,
I'm hearing about this.
27.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
I think.
Fucking weird. It's weird. Well, I'm gonna research that.
Let me see. Hold on, I'll look it up right now. I'll tell you.
While he's looking at that, we've bantered enough for the other guys. If they were gonna hop in, they could have hopped in. So after this, we'll get in. I keep watching this Jerry. So did you see the young boy Jared McCain? He fell and hurt his back. Go ahead.
Seinfeld, then 38, met 17-year-old, 38 and a 17-year-old.
What? That's fucking weird, bro.
People magazine.
I would like that. She was 17.
Mm-hmm.
See, even all right. I know some people will be like 17's like it's right there. Maybe she was out of high school already. Whatever, you know. But this is my answer to those people. Even if it wasn't illegal or whatever, or if the consent thing plays into that, whatever the rule is, it's still just a little weird to me because it's like my niece is fresh. She just turned 21. And sometimes like when her and her friends come around, I don't really like with the stuff they're talking about. I'm like, bro. So I couldn't imagine at 30 feeling like I had anything I need to say to a 17-year-old that besides like she's hot and I want to bang her. And like that's the only thing I could think that he was only thing on his mind.
But like 17, first of all, 17, bad.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Bad.
But if it's like 17 and like a 21-year-old, still bad.
Still bad.
Not crazy bad. Still don't get me wrong. It's still unacceptable, but it's not like crazy.
Listen, guys, if you're ever wondering, is she too young for me?
She is too young for you.
Well, that right there, if you have to ask the question, she probably is. But the rule of thumb, half your age plus 7 years. That's the safety. That's the safe window. Half your age.
Peeked out. I'm like, how old am I?
I'm 35, so half my age divided by 2. So 17 and a half. We'll call it 18 for me. And then add 7.
Let's call it 17. I'm kidding.
Let's call it an even 17. So 25 would be the young. And for me at 35, maybe 25 I could do. Maybe. I mean, 25, you've definitely had
23 and a half.
I mean, you got a couple years less, so makes sense. Let's round that to 24.
That's still a little crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hearing 25 now, and I'm still like, it's only a couple years older than my niece, but I mean, 25. You've lived a little bit of life. You've had, you've probably had a heartbreak or two here or there. You've probably experienced something crazier, here or there. So you probably, what I'm saying? You've had a little bit of experience. I probably could have some kind of conversation with you. But 17 or 18, it's like, what are we doing? Gonna get ice cream? Can't even go to the bar yet.
Yeah, it's like, 17, you're not even at a high, you can't even buy Dutchess.
Horny dude syndrome.
Bro, that's just disgusting.
Was that like
Jerry Seinfeld? Too bad.
At 30, Seinfeld was already on right then. He was young. Wasn't he in his 20s?
Bro, this was in I think 1999.
So Seinfeld's like taking off by
popping.
Yeah. So basically, I'm getting off my set at Seinfeld. gonna pull up to this little high school, pick this little sweet thing up.
No, met in Central Park.
That's why New York's kind of crazy.
Nasty work. All right, well, Mr. Coach is here. Let's transition into what really matters.
Let's transition
Coaching.
like half of America. And so the last thing I saw before we're gonna go. I know we're gonna go and rag on the Eagles for a while. I just do want to bring up, like I was just saying, that Jared McCain fall. I'm looking at the fall and it looked like a regular fall. He went to the hospital for that. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen anything. I've been working all day. The Sixers played today.
It's preseason, so they're doing those preseason games that guys are getting meaningless injuries in, like Paul George, who now has a bone bruise, I think they called it. I don't know. I'm sending it to you right now. And I was trying to, and I think we got fucked by that. I know that they took the strike off of our account, but I was trying to go live and it wouldn't go live. So I think that fucking, even though they forgave the strike, they definitely weren't letting us go live.
On Instagram?
Yeah. So
it says you're hooked up on Instagram.
It says we're hooked up, but when I'm trying to hit every time I hit go live on Instagram to make it go, it keeps saying error.
So, okay, then yeah, we're not allowed.
I just sent it to you.
You ruined it.
That's not my wife. And 3. And coming to the stage, Coach.
Yo.
What up, pimp? Now, I sent the video of Jared McCain falling to the group chat that you don't ever check.
Is it as thoughty as the Paul George injury?
No, this one he just fell. I said that maybe I'm just jaded. He just looks like he did a regular fall, like two guys not in the 90s. This was the Jordan rules. That was Jordan rules. Like when the Detroit was beating up Jordan, I feel like that's how Jordan was getting hit.
I'm looking at it now. He falls. I mean, it definitely.
Look, I'm not saying
he's holding his chest.
He went to the hospital for it. He's fine. I guess they're saying he's fine, but.
Maribel said my mic sounds weird.
It did for a second, but now you sound normal again.
Okay. And we're back. Yeah, he's sitting there holding his chest.
Yeah, so I guess that's why he went to the hospital. I guess saying like something with his chest with it. I don't know.
Evaluated for a concussion.
He did look like he hit his head on the come down. I did see that. That meme you put up was funny. Uber driver, fun night.
Oh.
Been there.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's I mean he'll if it's a concussion. You seen it?
Yeah.
Sorry, am I just being too harsh? Get out there and play basketball. That's all.
I'm trying to see if I can slow it down. But yeah,
it looks like he just smacks back. Like he doesn't brace it with his arms or anything, or he just back.
He just ate all of that.
Yeah, you know what? It literally comes down flat on his whole back. I see that, and I don't think he actually initially hits his head, but I think he might have like got the whiplash effect from his back smacking down like that and then bouncing up.
Because there is a way to fall. There's a way you're supposed to fall.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to slap the ground, and he
did not do that at all.
Bro, it doesn't seem like
huh?
Just forfeit all preseason games. We're gonna injure the whole team before the season starts.
Well, I guess we can get right into that since that's the thing that's got Cozy's gears.
Don't even bother playing Embiid in preseason. Just don't even fucking bother.
I don't think Embiid's gonna play. Alarm! I don't think Embiid's starting the season opener.
As long as it's not back-to-back games.
Okay, so Cozy has a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it. There's only like what 15 of them a year, so 6 or 7 games he's gonna miss just because of that.
It's great because me and wifey was looking at the schedule, so we're looking at going to both Sixers, Rockets, and Sixers in San Antonio, and it's like 3 days between those games.
There you go. He should play.
I'm good.
Someone in the on our IG was commenting. He's like, load management sucks because fans pay to see tickets. And to that, I say I do understand that. I 100% understand. You're going to see your team, and look, these tickets aren't cheap. You probably get to see them once a year, maybe. And if that's the case, this might actually be good because at least you know Embiid's not going to play on the second game, so don't buy that ticket. Or if he didn't play the night before, he's probably playing that night.
Well, you also have to take into account when the game will be in the season, because if it's towards the end of the season, he's not playing.
Yeah, it's going to be in March when they're out here. So
okay, but this is my thing, right? What do you want more than anything, Cozy?
Embiid to get traded, us to get a haul of picks or players.
What you want is the Sixers. This is the team. I'm not saying a particular player. You want the Sixers to get a championship. I feel like that's Cozy.
Damn, he froze me.
There you go. You're up. You want the Sixers organization to hoist a championship sooner than later.
Because he's going to trade Embiid to the Browns for Myles Garrett.
Now that if that
Embiid can play tight end,
Garrett, I would do it. Let's go with big draft energy,
bro. So here's my thing: Sixers winning, cool. At this point, I've maintained that I don't think Sixers are going to win with Embiid.
But I'm just saying this. The truth is there. He's not going anywhere. He signed another extension. Him and Paul George are locked in. This is the foreseeable future right now. So this is your team. And if this is
we're not winning.
But I'm just saying this. If this is what we're locked into, there's nothing that's really going to change too much outside of those three: Maxey, Paul George, and Embiid. That's pretty much what it is. Hopefully, this McCain kid ends up being a little something more than I think people are going to give him credit for. I think he is. I think he looks good. And that big man that they got. Hopefully, we have a viable backup for Embiid now. And then you have Drummond. So look, if this is what we're locked into, and this is what we got, and this offers us the best chance to get to the championship or to the playoffs with a healthy Embiid, I'm all for it. I don't care if this motherfucker plays 30 games. And if all 30 of those games come at the last month and a half of the season, so he's ramped up and ready for playoffs, and by the time playoffs come around, this man is as healthy as he's ever been, then so be it. Give me healthy Embiid in the postseason, and that's all I really give a shit about now.
I've just seen too many times of Embiid.
You guys, but it's like the thing, right? It's like 22. We had so much fun watching the Eagles be front runners and blow people out and running up a bunch of points in the first half, which we're gonna get to that conversation later. But then just to get to the Super Bowl and lose it, I don't give a fuck if Embiid wins an MVP for the rest of his season, if his career, he's all NBA. I don't want to see highlights for 4 months out of the year, and then the 1 month that it actually matters, I get no highlights. I get mopey Embiid because his knees are killing him, his back hurts, and I know the only thing you're gonna say is I just wish we didn't have him and we traded him, but that's just not what it is. Like, this is the world we are living in, unless we're gonna get a new team.
I just think I get what you're trying to say. I just feel like it's a bad comparison because 2022, it's not like we shit the bed in the playoffs. We played great in the playoffs, and then we went to this championship and we should have won. We didn't because of other shit, but we should have won. So whereas Embiid is, like you said, like it's just constant injuries. It's every year you get excited. It's Embiid regular season going crazy and then just injured. And then it's like, well, he's going to come back into the playoffs, hopefully, but he's going to be a little banged up. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, he's banged up. It's like, at this point, don't even play Embiid the first 50 games of the season. Just start him in the second half. Like how many, at what point like it's like we're getting less and less of him because
Well,
they're
that-
like, oh, he's so injury prone. It's like, at what point, like, what does he have on his? How many years does he have left on his deal?
I mean,
3 or
it's here,
4.
like 5 or 6, I want to say.
So
Hold
like
on,
in
let's
like
see.
in like 3 years from now, are they only going to be like, we're just saving Embiid for the playoffs? Like he's not even going to play the regular season at all because we want him to stay healthy. Like at what point does he just? Bro, I'm just so fed up with it. I'm just
It's
so
it's
annoyed.
it's a thing because it's like they can't use the thing anymore about saying you can't build your team around a big man because
God damn.
till 29, right?
Yeah, 29 season is a player option, but he's an official free agent 29-30 when he like
Bro,
35.
he's
Let me
He's
tell you
not
something
gonna
about
make it.
Joel Embiid's 2029 player option.
God,
It's not
this
even gonna be
man is
there.
He's opting
making
into that shit.
money.
bro. He's
He's
gonna
getting paid
play
like
this year.
$50 million a year, right?
Guaranteed 59 next year. Damn near 60 million next year, 65 million the following year, and then 70 million his player option year. Bruh.
Bro.
I'm
Listen,
in
He
the
draft
wrong.
energy.
That shit.
It's a lot to commit to a player like that. But I mean,
I'm
it's crazy.
we're going on year 3 of me saying this, where it's like Philly fans have hope, and I'm just sitting here like, I have hope. It's not hope. It's not faith. It's optimism. I
Yeah.
would hope. I want the Sixers to win. Do I think they're going to? No. Do I think Embiid is going to play a healthy playoffs? No. It's just I need to see like actual change in whatever he's doing because it's like you said, he lost weight last year too, and it still wasn't enough because he's still. It's still he hasn't changed. He's still Embiid.
Yeah. But what I will say this, okay. If you were guaranteed a fully healthy Embiid for the start of the playoffs on, if you just knew that he was going to be healthy for the playoff, do you think that Joel is not the best player on the court in most situations and gives you the best chance if he is in fact that healthy?
Are you talking with current roster or?
Yeah, just saying, with our current roster, because Paul George is the third option, right? It's after Maxey and all that. So
I'm about to say the ball should go through Maxey.
I believe it will go through Maxey. I don't think. I think
should.
they're gonna. I think the way that what I've been reading about and everything that I've seen Nick Nurse say, that it's Maxey and McCain or Maxey and Oubre, and then McCain's gonna come in obviously, but it's the offense goes through Maxey. They're gonna get more. The ball's gonna be more away from Embiid now, which should help him too. He's got to be more comfortable with the ball not always being him to being the center of it. And in all honesty, I think that makes him play a lot more freer.
Bruh, you remember who was it when Kevin Hart was roasting? Was it Kevin Hart that was roasting Shaq falling down?
Yeah,
I think Kevin Hart could do the exact same bit with Embiid, bruh.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, but he's been it's that thing that Cozy was saying about having the fall. Look, this guy is not going to be good when he retires and he's old. You know, that's why these guys look how they are. That's how you see like even they're bigger guys. You see like Kenny and all them. They move around the same. They're just smaller. AI, he don't move around that briskly.
Yeah, but AI was
upset.
playing during a more physical period.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look and see, like, all right, how long is Embiid going to be out? Because Andre is probably going to move into that starter role.
See, like at this point, I would rather just have.
R.I.P. Cozy. I mean, I would rather. I would like Embiid to play a solid 25 to 30 minutes a night. That's all we need. He needs to be in basketball shape and be able to go ahead and just be healthy when time comes for the playoffs. I want him to have his conditioning. I don't want him, you know what I'm saying, beat up. And like that's all I can hope for at this point. I'm not mad about the back-to-back shit. I mean, if I'm pretty sure they've been trying to limit that anyway. And from what a lot of people were saying in the comments, it's true that the NBA is trying to limit the back-to-backs.
Yeah, but that's just gonna make they're gonna have to shorten the season.
That's what the players want.
My
Ultimately.
Yeah,
speakers
but
just
you
stopped
telling
working
me-
randomly.
You can't
You
hear
telling
us?
me? You telling me I'm gonna pay Embiid $80 million in a potential season, and we're only playing like 50 games?
That's
the
why
math,
they
the math ain't
math
mathing
ain't
on
math.
that.
I mean, well, you've seen the big thing. That's why the conversation with Cuban, while Cuban was saying a lot of speculation. He didn't say it, but a lot of speculation on why Mark Cuban wanted to sell the team is because he saw basically all the stuff with the streaming and like the numbers weren't adding up. The math
The
wasn't mathing.
silver lining.
Yeah, so it's like you're getting these valuations for X amount of billions, and you're playing these players. Now you can have a guy on your team if you draft him and he's good, like Steph or something. You're paying that by the time he's due for his first major contract, it's a super max and it's $500 million.
Yeah, but
And that
I
TV
think
money.
with advertising and all that stuff making its way in,
Well, that's the
'Cause-
TV dollars weren't what they that's what like the whole because that's what you're seeing like all these local programming companies like losing their deals or losing their the networks because the money wasn't there and they were paying all this money for football or paying for whatever league sports that be exclusive and it just wasn't profitable for them. Well, these deals are getting all these astronomical numbers because of what? The TV money and through them, especially the NBA, more than any other league, the NBA with the player power through their collective bargaining agreement, that they're seeing these numbers. So I think that's what we're seeing. Mark Cuban was like, "I'll control the team, but I don't want to own this no more. I'd rather have that cash right now."
it's gonna be very interesting because all the sports are going that way.
Mm-hmm.
You got baseball looking almost like a Japanese league now with all the advertisements on the uniforms.
Mm-hmm. And then you have, even look at our own Eagles. There was a reason that Jeffrey Lurie decided to sell a minuscule minor, part of the owner, minority ownership. That there was something behind it.
That was if I'm correct though, that was to increase the insurance.
Okay.
It's from my knowledge, it's a loophole to increase your insurance policy basically.
Okay.
But I may be wrong, but that's typically what I was seeing. Was like that's why. What was it when
the Raiders just got Tom Brady? Maybe they were trying to jack into the same kind of
who
thing.
Is it? The Walmart family that bought the Broncos? Like that's why it was a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I think in our lifetime we've seen more, and wealth obviously always changes hands, right? But I think we've seen more teams sell in these past few years than we probably have ever thought we'd seen.
All right, that was weird. My audio like randomly just like shut off. I like couldn't hear anything.
That's weird. We could hear you the whole time.
But I'm back.
All right, well, that's that. And I guess we'll get into the Eagles by starting with this freaking crazy comment that big draft energy left here. That's
big
like
draft
wild.
energy.
My man says, so does MetLife steal Saquon's ligaments and his chances for the most?
Why would he put that out there?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Who writes this kind of shit? Bro, what is wrong with you? Why would you say that?
Why would you put that into existence?
Why would you say that?
All right, let me go hack into this dude's shit to figure out his address.
Oh, he lives in Canada.
That's some diabolical shit to say to some Eagles fans, especially because knock on wood, he's been great. He's been as televised. Everybody telling us how bad Saquon was going to be and the money wasn't worth it. I think he's been worth every cent except for this last game. He didn't have his best game, but still was pretty damn good if you ask me.
You know what? This is the Kenny Gainwell revenge game.
Watch your fucking mouth, bro.
The Kenny Gainwell
I don't want Kenny
sacrificial
Gainwell
game.
anywhere on that field. Get Kenny Gainwell off my team, dude. I'm over it. I don't care.
It's just so damn mind numbing when Saquon goes back to back for like 5 yards, 6 yards, gets a first down basically on his own and then some. And then, obviously the guys, want to get a quick breather real quick, go get some oxygen before we come get a water, come back in. And it's like, why Gainwell? Like, send the other man in, please. Please,
He's Nick Sirianni's Justin Bieber, bro.
Every coaching staff does this to us, man. Every coaching with
Chip Kelly
Boston
was
Scott.
hard over Sam Bradford.
Boston Scott. I'll give that. Everybody liked Boston Scott until the bit wasn't good anymore. But no, like what was it? Our old defensive coordinator that's on the Browns now.
Jim Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Yeah, Schwartz loved the defensive end that we ended up getting rid of.
Barnett.
He loved Barnett. Like
It's like
Barnett's
there's every.
Houston balling, so
No, he's not. Bro.
Chip loved Riley Cooper's racist ass because he does all the stuff. He blocks every play. He's blocking. Like he ain't that good. It's like each coaching staff has that guy.
Derek Barnett has 2 sacks this year.
okay.
It's not
And
balling.
Hassan Reddick has 0 sacks this year.
Yeah.
He hasn't played. He has 2 more sacks than a guy who hasn't played.
I mean,
And he has 2 more sacks than the guy
2 more
who's played 5 games.
yeah. All right. Well, let's
6
speaking of
games.
the guy who's played every game this season for us, but has yet to get a fucking sack. Coach, can you please tell me? Does it matter if this man gets in a 4-point stance or not? If he's so
Bro.
much better in a 4-point stance, why on God's green earth are they not putting him in a 4-point stance?
Because
Bro, why can't you just do it?
limits what he
Just-
can do though.
It's what?
Bro, you
But
can't be in a
it hit
4-point
him-
stance and they're in a run formation. You're losing
Bro.
certain aspects.
Not
Like
going in a
Rushman,
4-point
it makes
stance limits
100%
him.
stance.
It's stupid. It's just dumb.
So it doesn't. So
It's-
it will essentially affect the scheme. The scheme affects him, or essentially or the play calling was.
You gotta find a happy medium. Is basically what it is. And from what I've been seeing, it looked like they moved Nolan Smith outside of Huff.
And it looked like he got busy this week. He finally I
Well,
saw him make up.
nobody got busy. This is the Cleveland
Yeah.
Browns. So who ain't saying the players on that team are making business deals? And I'm only go 60%.
That's true too. That's true too. I mean, look, I think we're all in agreement. It was a win, but we weren't happy about the win. On Nick Sirianni's side, we were not happy with the win.
He gonna tell that big ass dog to be quiet.
No, it was bro.
You better chill before it become his
A win is a win.
podcast.
A win is a
He's
win.
trying to-
It's just like
Him and the little dog are
It's so
always playing
terrible.
together.
There ain't no little dog barking that deep.
No, we have. You didn't see the picture in the group chat of the new dog?
That sound like you got a big old Michael Clark Duncan style dog over there.
No, I have the husky that we've had, but we got Cookie, who's like 4 pounds. So Wentz and Cookie get to playing, and Wentz be barking like that, like he's playing with another dog his size, getting punked by Cookie, who's 4 pounds. So I mean, yeah, it was a shitty win. I don't see why they. And look,
That was a terrible win.
coaching aside, right? Like these guys are too talented to be looking this miserable. And look, I know people are talking about tackling and this and that. these guys are grown men. They're professional athletes. They've been tackling since they were in JV. They know how to tackle the right way. All right. You don't go to the league and forget how to tackle. You know, I find it hard to believe. You think not?
But you get hit a
I
couple
think-
times and you
I
start
think-
laying off on tackling.
I think the way BG was taught how to tackle is not the same tackling that guys like Nolan Smith been taught how to tackle.
Okay. Can you kind of
The-
divulge that a little bit more?
So unfortunately, Pete Carroll changed how the tackling is being taught now. So normally it was you just run into the person as hard as you can and hopefully they fall. But then
The rugby,
It's
you're
called-
talking about the rugby, like the rugby tackle where they wrap
Yeah.
them up and roll,
but it's
which
it's
kind of
called,
seems like they're, yeah.
it's called hawk tackling for a reason. So if you look at any youth football coaching certification,
Mhm.
the example is the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom, as far as the basically wrapping up the legs, rolling, taking the head out of the game. But when you see guys like Avante Maddox dropping her head and missing a tackle, that's old muscle memory. That's why you see, if you look at all of Nolan Smith tackles, that's what it was, wrapping the legs and rolling. So it prevents you from being at full steam, like going full speed ahead. And because you're supposed to buzz your feet, break down, head to the side, wrap, drop, squeeze, roll. Nah. Now you can
Not
do it
just fucking-
essentially quick. You can do it essentially quick. I think Sidney Brown is probably the closest who can do that. But
Yeah.
when you got those guys, depending on your coaching and depending on, if the elevator's in every floor, they may have to take a couple additional steps.
See, all right, I'm with you on that. However, the Eagles are like the second or third youngest team in the league right now. So I would imagine that most of the guys on this roster, BG aside, are pretty much conditioned to do that. Like they've probably been doing that since, like you said, these football camps they've probably all been doing. They've probably been taught that. The Legion of Boom, well, they've been out the league for a minute now,
Yeah, it's been some time.
Yeah, but then you got
So-
old heads complaining about tackling with donuts. Like, bruh, there's a a legit requirement of how much person-on-person contact you're allowed to have. So
Well, yeah,
you
now they're
gotta
taking
find
the-
ways to simulate that.
You're taking the hip drop out of it. So guys like Slayer not feeling
But you're
it.
not, because people are still doing hip drop tackles in the league. And this NFL is a joke, honestly. At this point.
It's a joke because they said that was the thing they wanted to take out, but you're right, they don't call that. And
I
what they've
see
been
it. I
calling
see it every game.
the fucking formation thing they've been calling, which just seems like complete bullshit to me.
And they said the kickoff was going to be more explosive this year, but yet everybody keeps texting it back.
I think motherfuckers are just like, I'm not, because I ain't gonna lie,
It's
bro.
so-
It seems now that we've gotten to see it a little bit more, and they're like, all right, now I see what they were trying to do. I do see it being more. I see it being safer but I also see
Yeah.
the motherfuckers who are getting that chance to like get after them. I feel like they are able to be a little bit more calculated because I don't know if you guys ever had to do special teams when you play. I always had to do special teams because they were like, go, because that's how you're gonna get your job. So, and I felt like whenever we were receiving, the guys who were already running, or even though I know they start running at the same time now, a motherfucker running to you is a lot harder to stop when he's trying to get behind you than, you know what I'm saying, you running or trying to like block. Like you running up and trying to put up like, nah, bro, get that out of here.
Bro, I was a gunner. As long as I was faster than the guy trying to block me, it was a wrap.
See, and I feel like I do see why they think that guy should have more, because he's gotten to get the speed going before they start actually getting to him. I don't know. I do like it though. It makes sense. I mean, look, man, at least the NFL's trying to do shit. The bullshit
They're
calls.
trying, but the calls are just, the calls have been terrible this year. It's getting worse. And I hate that I'm so invested in a sport that just keeps feeling more and more like it's rigged. Like,
Duh,
Like the
that's why
roughing
the
the
ticket
passer.
says for entertainment purposes.
I hate that. It's
Speaking
like,
of
it's
speaking
truly
of
upsetting.
tickets and entertainment purposes, I finally looked at the price for WrestleMania. Holy shit. These
Yeah, no.
motherfuckers is wilding.
That's why they do payment plans. Well, it's a 2-day event. So if you think about it, you get in bang for your buck.
What do you think?
You
What do
know,
you
'cause
think
you're still
bang for your
paying for
buck
2
is?
days.
What do you think of 2 days? Have you checked this out yet?
So I know I
WrestleMania in
spent.
Philly was like 800 a day.
It's 1,200 for 2 days.
That's not bad.
I mean, I could see it because I know it. They do a whole
Think
bunch
about
of
it.
stuff.
That's their Super Bowl.
Per person.
It is their Super
Per
Bowl,
person.
and I know and everyone who went to Philly, it was telling me they you got to go to not only did they do was it not just the 2 days. There's also like a convention that was part of it that you
The
got
fan
to go
experience. You got
All
to go
the
see
fan-
the
Well, you
Hall
got-
of
well,
Fame event.
to. All drinks were basically included. Like it was, so they did a whole thing. I'm not.
You got to
Shame
pay to
on
get
that.
into the event.
No, well, that's the event. You're basically once you buy that pays for all the event.
That's still crazy.
So it's crazy when I think about that. Lex and Dre want to go too. That's what makes it. It's not just like me being like I want to go.
I'll save
They're
up
like-
a paycheck or two and get a ticket. Now it's like, well, let me save up 6 paychecks.
Well, it don't help when you got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair taking over social media, and your wife's like, "You're not going to wrestling by
You
yourself."
ain't going to WrestleMania alone, mama. looking like how they be looking, boy. I'll tell you what. I ain't never been into a muscular broad like that before, but Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair do it for me every time.
Hey, and the talent has been brought to you by the hitman himself, Brent Michaels. I mean, Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is there, bruh. All the baddies have been scouted by Shane McMahon.
All of them.
I mean,
All of
Shawn
them.
Michaels. I'm getting my damn characters mixed
Well,
up.
you said the hit. Now I don't even. Yeah.
Oh, actually, struck
Hello,
out.
ladies.
That's what he was
Yeah.
doing.
Y'all are talking pig Latin to me right now. I got no idea what's happening.
Yeah, just some baddies in wrestling. All right, Birds are playing the Giants. How we feeling, fellas?
As long as we don't take any more injuries.
Bro, if we had actually played a good game against the Browns, I'd be super confident against the Giants. I am now less confident against the Giants.
It was a 9-point spread going into the week into the Browns game. 9-point. We were 9-point favorites with them, and we barely got out.
We
of
won
there.
by 4.
I thought we was
Bro.
an 8.5-point spread.
Huh?
Did
That-
it go up today?
It was 8.5, yeah.
8.5. Well, not 8.5, 9.
Yeah. Bro, just bro,
It's just so mad.
infuriating. Another quarter of no. Our scripted plays are so goddamn garbage because I know it's just Nick in there like, oh, here's where we're gonna start the game. We're gonna start the game with a run, and it's gonna work for 5 yards, and then we're gonna throw a fucking deep ball to AJ Brown.
Bro,
Yeah,
you know what my
but
favorite
Why is
go-to
it
play?
deep ball? Why is it deep ball the second play of the game?
I don't know.
My go-to play for opening the script is a screen. Think about it. A lot of plays, teams are thinking you're going to run the ball, so they come out very aggressive, and then you're like, sight, 15.
That's my reason when he said that. And did you see in the chat that I said I like 4 verticals on the opening play?
No.
People
bro.
think you're gonna run it. Next thing you know, big explode. Didn't they do that? They did that in the Super Bowl. They threw it really, really early, like boom, right off the rip to get shit going.
Bro,
Big play to
here's the
AJ.
thing, people. Here's the thing people are forgetting. When you start the game, the defense has energy. They're not mentally frazzled. They're not distracted. They're locked in. They're ready to go, and they have the energy. You do those shits later in the game when the defense is tired. You got them gassed a little bit. They're mentally drained because they've seen a lot of things thrown their way. So now they're seeing motion. And okay, wait. The last time he ran this way though, they ran that little, and then you do those stuff. Then you throw a little screen. It's gonna pick up 15 yards. Not the first play of the game, but the defense is locked in. Like I'm seeing him. I know where he's going, and we're good. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
That screen's gonna get picked for 6 right there.
I just want somebody to replicate the massacre of Monday Night Football. open play action, deep pass,
Big
bro.
pass. That's what I'm saying.
With Saquon, you can do that because you're thinking, okay, you got to respect the run, and out of nowhere, you got fucking. I would sing Jahan Dotson, if anything. That wouldn't look like a threat.
Who we did finally see catch a meaningful ball this week.
I was gonna say Dotson's growing in the offense. I didn't think it was gonna take this long, but I'm happy
shouldn't
to
take
see
this
him
long.
getting some targets, getting more comfortable in it.
It shouldn't take this long, but here we are.
It
is.
shouldn't. Here we are.
So, and another thing to add on to what Coach is saying, I think teams and now they know that Saquon is a strength. They know he's good on the Eagles. They know the offensive line isn't a bunch of pushovers now that Kelsey's not there. I think teams want to stack the box. And a big pass play right off the rip to just, hey, don't try to stack that box and think that's it. It's just now you got and the reason that I said in the chat, the reason I was not mad about those two pass plays is single coverage on both guys. They both had a chance for those balls. If Jalen puts the money on the ball,
Pause.
they both had a chance to make a play. Pause. They both had a chance to make a play. If you have AJ Brown in single coverage, you're throwing that 95% of the time.
Bruh, you're just trying to run the clock out. Run the ball 3 times and then get a first down.
Yeah.
Control the clock in the beginning. Stop with this. Like they would start the game 3 pass plays. It's like, cool. We just wasted 35 seconds.
It reminds me back
And now it's a punt.
The Chip Kelly days.
Because that's what I'm like. What? Run the ball. Saquon picks up 5 yards. Run it again. He's gonna pick up 3 to 5 yards. He's gonna get it. Like it's gonna happen. You know that. Because guess what? You run on the first down, they know it's gonna be a pass on the second down. And then if you don't get the completion, you know you're gonna pass again.
But Saquon as well is not Buddy from Boise State with 95 carries in 6 games. You gotta let him get a breather.
Hit the double. Hit the little Shipley Gainwell sets. Hit fucking bring in a tight end as a fullback. I'm gonna go find me an actual years
fullback.
ago. That too. The play we ran years ago with Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard. I was like, bro, this is beautiful.
This is the thing of legend. This is what people talk about.
Against the Bills, Jordan Howard, they lined up. Howard
they had it, so he was like the thing we talk about.
Oh my god, bro. I saw it. We've never done it again. It's been 4 years. We've never seen it again. And I'm just sitting here
the thing that makes it maddening is that you have teams like the 49ers, and if I'm not mistaken, I think
the Ravens. Well, the Ravens
have they have fullbacks and they utilize them, and they have these plays where they have the two guys in the backfield with the quarter, and it's like, please,
yeah.
Even
the
if
Cowboys have
the PPK there with just something, just so it's boring. It's so boring.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all boys. I'm gonna have to tap out. I'm super tired right now.
You've been doing all that hurricane work, bro. I can only imagine.
Listen, I already know if I stay on the next 30 minutes, it's gonna be me bitching about something on the Eagles.
Can we do 5 minutes and then we'll close this out together? That's just 5 minutes.
Okay, let's look at the positives going into this game.
Real quick positives, and then we'll get out of here because I know it's late for everybody.
What? The Giants got a CVS receipt list of injuries?
That don't mean look, bro. I'm done. I thought the Browns
did too. Listen, here's what I'm praying.
Go ahead.
I need us to start fast, start strong. Hurts is locked in. That game was rough. The last game, Hurts is locked in. Now they're like, okay, Sirianni, take a step back. This is the game where we finally see Hurts throw 4 touchdowns.
All right. Look, this is. I'll say this, and then I want to talk about the baby thing because that's crazy to me too. But okay, Galaxy brain and me. This is just what I think, right? If Sirianni, because the haircut thing, everybody's been talking about all that. I really don't think he's like. I don't think he's lost his mind. Honestly, I think Sirianni has just accepted his fate. He knows what's coming unless they win a Super Bowl. And I think he's just like, I'm riding this shit out. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. It is what it is. And I'm just riding the wave, right? And so if everyone knows that this dude maybe not be all right or all the way there, doesn't help the team, like, I got to think that Jalen being the kind of guy he is and Kellen have been around the league long enough, at some point, one or the other is walking down the hallway and the other guy grabs him and pulls him in a broom closet. Pause. And he's like, look, bro, you know and I know that this shit ain't right. This ain't right. So what are me and you going to do? What's our game plan? Like if Cozy jumped on the next pod with half his hair shaved and the other half on, we're definitely going to have a side chat and be like, yeah, so next time Cozy says he wants to go live, what are we going to say? You got to think that Jalen and Kellen have like had some kind of like, hey, man, look, this is what he's trying to do. This is what I think we should do. What do you think? Let's do this. Right?
It depends on the freedom Nick is really giving these guys, bro. But at the end of the day, Jalen does have that power to go into, Mr. Larry's office and be like, look, can we have a heart to heart? But bro, that whole game was just wild, just from start to finish, to even with the antics, and then Nick apologizing, and then
the thing that fucked me up, Coach, is he's seen like if I know what I've been around crazy people. We've all seen crazy people in the streets, like in real life.
No. The crazy part is, bro, it's getting cold in Philly, and he picked that time to cut his hair.
The other thing that really bothered me was it was like he did it at the crib, right? He didn't go get a line, like he didn't have a fresh taper. That's the thing. And I know Nick knows about shit. He's around enough guys. He knows to go, if you're gonna get the line, get the Channing Tatum. You know what I'm saying?
He cut it. Like he just sat in the mirror.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like the over the sink shit. That's what he did. He did the over the sink. He bicked it. He was
in the bathroom mirror. He was in the bathroom mirror, like these motherfuckers want me out. He had the movie scene. So? He's in the mirror. He's like,
see, because he showed up game day. The press media, all the media stuff he did during the week, normal hair. He did that.
So who sold him the Clippers?
I'm thinking
he has to get it from the closest target. The ball Clippers. The Clippers used to shave his He manscaped
the ball. The one they advertise on all the podcasts.
No, yeah, Dom. I just feel like drum.
This is now that we're starting to hear. This is obviously this is Jalen. We checked out of this play. That was him in the AJ play. They called that. We know Jalen does possess the power. You said he has the power to go to Mr. Lurie's office. The theory I've been rocking with is because out of nowhere they had the come to Jesus moment. Jalen said, we spoke. We're the leaders of this team. Do you think maybe he went to Mr. Lurie, tried to have that like, hey, it's not working out for me? And then Mr. Lurie said, please give it one real, actual, solid try. And if we feel like he's lost the locker room or he's not the guy, we will make the appropriate movements. And that's why Jalen gave the actual, finally, after all these time, gave the answer that we've all, like, this is the answer you should have gave at, months ago.
That sounds logical.
It sounds logical, but as we look at the history, all the coaches have been fired in the offseason except Chip Kelly. Even Juan Castillo got to finish out a whole fucking season.
But that's the thing, though. That's just because it happened in the past doesn't mean that like it's gonna be the same moving forward. Like Lurie wants to win. He's in win now. He knows how much is invested in this team. I understand old. I understand the whole like, oh, like you don't want to be too drastic with your moves, but at the same time, Larry might be like at wit's end and be like, all right, like something needs to happen now because like I'm not going through this again. Like he did with Doug. Like we won, and then the winning helped him out a couple years, but we saw like Doug's everything went downhill after the Super Bowl. We got worse every single year after the Super Bowl for the next 3 years.
Nah, I
We
think
didn't
they
win
were
the
trying
Super
to
Bowl.
coddle that boy. That's what hurt us.
That's what. Yeah, I think honestly, I think Doug's play calling wasn't great, but I think they tried to coddle Wentz way longer than they should have.
Because, bro, we almost
They
went
did,
back
but
to back.
it was Doug too. No, we didn't.
Doug's no,
They
I'm
did
saying
that
Doug's play
solid.
calling was an issue, but I truly believe Doug would have been able to like we could have gotten past that at some point. We saw Doug do dynamic things, and Doug wasn't stupid. But then you could also look to what he's doing right now in Jacksonville and be like, he ain't doing shit there. So
And it's ass.
I just
So and he has a
I just
arguably
think
people
Doug
get better
can't
quarterback.
operate with white quarterbacks outside of Nick Foles. He was very successful with Mahomes.
outlier.
It's Mahomes. Everybody.
Whatever Nick got is whatever coochie he got that before he took over that before the Super Bowl run, he did something different, bro. I don't know. He did something.
Nick Foles went into the entire 2017 season with, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the backup. It doesn't matter. So he played every single game like, who cares? I'm throwing the deep ball. Flea flicker. Who gives a shit? Hey, you want to run Philly? You want to run a trick play in the Super Bowl? Who gives a shit? I'm not gonna get the blame if anything goes wrong.
I'm the fucking backup here. Who's gonna?
Yeah, like
they had the backup.
When you're the starter, you're thinking like, oh, I gotta put the city in my back. Nick Foles is like, fuck it, dude. Fucking 40-yard flea flicker. Who gives a shit? I don't care.
He's like, shit. He fucking caught that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking trick play where trick play where we're doing a flea flicker and I'm catching it. Fucking why not?
Fourth down. Doug's like, hey, you want to do this? Like, you want to do that trick play we practiced one time? Doug's like, yeah, let's do it.
That practice
He's
we
like,
were putting on the field because we thought the Patriots might be fucking spying. Let's try.
Let's fucking do it. Let's do it.
I mean, you're right. You're not lying because if you read his book, it basically says a lot of that. I had the mentality. I was the backup. I was just gonna go in and do whatever I could. And like he had that thought the whole season, pretty much.
It's like a constant adrenaline rush or like a constant fight or flight thing. Like he's just like, this is it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I got a decent quarterback, I'm basically going to have my starter fake an injury in the first quarter. So the guy I want at quarterback can start. Be like, hey, you're just the backup. So if you fuck up, you fuck up. But if you, hey, this is what you can do. You're the backup.
I'm going to take
maybe
chances.
That's why.
Take chances.
Maybe that's why.
Lane.
Maybe that's why Fields was doing decent to start the season off. He was like, they never gave me the starter job. I'm just here to play, man. Fuck it. It's the Steelers. I gotta get.
He's like,
but they never told him he was the starter. It's just Russell's not here. You're playing, and he maybe got out of his head a little bit.
Russell wasn't hurt. Russell was on tour with Sierra and Missy.
And Russell wasn't hurt, but they I'm gonna tell you. And if you read the quotes that what's his name put out after they asked him about all of this, the coach, he was just like, hey man, it is what it is. We're gonna just try some shit, basically, you know. And you know what, man? I think he set it up. He's like, obviously you got Russell in the building. You want to see if anything's still there, and you didn't ever give Fields the starting job, so you could be like, look, we're just gonna try it out. And then if Russell comes out here and looks like the Russell we saw in Denver, fuck it. Like, hey, bro, hey, you're ass. We won't Fields, bro. So
nah, if Russell come out like Seahawks, I'm sending his ass to damn Vegas.
Oh God! All
hey,
right,
bro,
let's get them score predictions and we'll get up out of here, fellas.
Shit.
My optimistic ass can't even come up with anything good, man. I'm gonna go 21-14.
I'm going 24-21.
I'm changing mine to 20-14. Jake Elliott's gonna miss another field goal because he ain't been hot all season.
Well, shit, they always keep going
31-17.
down.
Fuck it, baby. 31 to
I just don't
17,
know.
baby. Who gives a shit?
I just
4
don't know what to
touchdowns from
expect
Hurts.
from them.
Jake Elliott makes 1. We're gonna come out the gate, march down the field. You're gonna see some stupid shit in the red zone. Jake kicks a field goal. We're gonna go up 3-0. And then the Giants are gonna come down the field. They're gonna kick it. It's gonna be 3-3.
I
And
just
we're gonna go down the field.
Bro, Daniel
Fuck
Jones
up.
is gonna have too
Not
many
get
yards
anything.
rushing.
And the Giants get the ball back. Giants are gonna score. It's gonna be 10-3.
I'll bring the drops down first.
And then Philly's gonna get the ball back. Philly's gonna score. It's gonna be 10-10. And then Philly's gonna score again. Philly's gonna score again. Philly's gonna score again. And then the Giants are gonna score it. It's gonna be 30.
I know I asked you guys, and neither one of you said anything. But I'm really, I know it's a different offensive coordinator, but don't we find it weird? And I know like you said we're gonna go, but don't you think it's weird that this is the same team that in the Super Bowl season that they could score 1,000,000 points in the first half and couldn't score anything in the second half, and now we're back to the slow start shit again? Like I know, like I said, I know it's a different offensive coordinator,
It's
but
like
same coach.
it's a script.
It's so weird to me.
It's not the coordinator because we're kind of seeing a trend here. The coordinators can leave and still have some type of success.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, I said I know it's a different coordinator.
So my thing,
So when you see people coming and going out of the building and pause, but when you see coordinators bouncing, but yet the same guy who's supposed to be overseeing the show and you're getting the same product, you got to reevaluate. Maybe it's not you, it's me. That might be that
because
true stance.
we're not seeing Kellen's offense. Like I sent the thing that I wanted you to post
I'm
with
gonna
the
post it
route
tomorrow.
tree of Keenan Allen, and then AJ Brown. You're looking at the route tree, like there's no way this is Kellen Moore's route tree. There's no way.
Well, those are two different type of receivers.
With Nick, it's here. What do you mean? It's the wide receiver 1.
No.
Big body jump ball guys.
AJ is a little bit more physical than Keenan Allen.
Back and then go start the shot.
Keenan Allen's more of the he's gonna moss you. AJ is more of like he's gonna rob you while he catch the ball.
Keenan's he's a bigger body to be able to put on you. AJ's the physical kick in the door ticket.
When you look at the route tree, it's like this. Like here's the field, right? Here's the field. It's lines over here, lines over here. That's the Sirianni tree. Every other route tree is like.
Well, and I mean,
when it's Sirianni, there's no middle. There's no crossing routes. There's none of it.
Which we saw a lot of in the Super Bowl season. We saw a lot of middle routes. Jalen, I know Jalen can do it. He threw his most successful season. He threw that ball in the middle a lot.
He outperformed Mahomes in the biggest stage of all.
And that so we know that at least that's the ceiling, right? That's Jalen's ceiling. We know that is there. I don't think
that the ceiling?
It might be better. It might be bigger. He might have more. He got better as the season went on because the Super Bowl was his best performance of the season.
Yeah,
he scored at every level in the Super Bowl. But I'm saying he scored, bro. He was hitting intermediate. He was hitting the fastballs down the field. He was hitting the run, and that's another thing. People saying he's slower. I don't think Jalen was ever like a fast guy. I think that game we saw where he was running it against the Falcons, he had the stuff. You saw him get hyped because he was doing it.
The Saints game was probably the fastest I've seen Jalen run.
Career.
Is that the one where he hit him and he got up and he was like, I thought that was the Falcons game.
No, the Saints game was when he started up the middle of the field and then he literally turned up.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we know he just knows how. You know what Jalen he's good like a running back. He's able to hit he's not super fast and dynamic, but what he does is he gets going. For one, if he hits you, he could take you down, or you know what I'm saying, or he's good at hitting that little juke and making people miss a little bit. He knows how to manipulate his body.
I think the issue is as well. Everybody expects Kellen Moore to be this RPO god, but they've never ran an RPO with Dak, and he's not running it with Justin Herbert. So I think he's trying to learn not the fundamentals, but basically the coaching points to the RPO and how it can be effective with the personnel. And once that gets clicking, because we're seeing the increase in Jalen running.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they want that to be part of the game, Jalen running, especially with the running back that we do have. But I think once, Kellen Moore has this, Ted Lasso moment, and he's like, aha, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Now he just got to basically find a way to get Nick out of the situation. Like,
Sirianni out.
What was it? I was watching Dexter the other day because I'm rewatching it because, they got the little prequel coming out.
Yeah.
And Dexter headbutt Detective Dope, right? And then run into the room with a bunch of people, not running, but slide out there.
Yeah.
So he could come out there and beat the shit out of him to get suspended.
Yeah.
I think Kellen Moore need to
might
pull
do
a
some
Dexter.
shit like that.
Yeah.
That would be funny. He's gonna hide his key card so he can't get in.
Because it's all about perception, bro. You get into it with a fan, or you allegedly get into it with a fan because he's talking about running the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't believe whatever truth that is.
Yeah.
But then you shave your head. So
then you attack your offensive coordinator.
The body language ain't looking that good. And then you and the offensive coordinator get into it, like, bro, you need to. We're gonna go ahead and mutually part ways because your mental capacity.
I'm gonna tell you what. If Kellen Moore got it in him to do some diabolical shit like that, that's the head coach I want. That's who I need. That's who I need. Getting in there, player manipulation, getting in here, like really just on a next level. Like he's gonna have everybody doing what he wants at that point.
Bro, if Kellen starts his press conference, like, now that we got the trash out the building, let's get this thing.
Kellen comes in with the visor with the markers in, like Nick used to do, and it says some slick shit like that.
He got the sticker and it's NS.
Diabolical, bro. I can see it and I would love it. I'd be like, that's a Philly motherfucker right there.
I just think with Kellen Moore literally coming from the team that brought you the hook and ladder, the Statue of Liberty, like that's his squad.
Yeah. I mean, and
he can get that creative with it, because when you're looking at what Ben Johnson doing with Detroit and you throwing a hook and ladder to damn Penei Sewell, bro, imagine you throw a hook and ladder to Jordan Mailata.
And you think, bro, Dak had his look that year that we thought the Cowboys had a chance to really win it with Dak in them. That was under Kellen Moore, bro. Dak was throwing that shit everywhere. So I mean, and not to say that Dak has had some bad careers since then, but that was just his most dynamic time, and I think he looked the most believable as a pocket passer then. Like there was some time where I was like, damn, this Dak dude really is the truth. I hate to admit it, but it's that's what it was.
Coach, if he's gonna be CEO, he gotta let these guys cook. You just can't be I'm gonna give these suggestions on, hey, we need to do this or not. Nah, bro.
Hey, let me get a defensive call real quick. Come on, let me get a defensive call.
Hey, let me see hey, you should call this play next. It's like somebody looking over your shoulders playing spades, like, hey, you should throw that, bro.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, Fangio's an old head too, so like I can't even see Fangio letting it happen, but like just Fangio's probably looking at him like, the fuck is wrong with you? Get the hell out! Like, get over there! Like, so I do want to say this, and then I really will let you go. A very close friend of the podcast, a good friend of all of ours, reached out a day or so after all that stuff with the back and forth with the fan, and they told me apparently Big Dom is done. He's done with Nick's antics. He told Nick to quit the shit, and he's not babysitting no more. That is the word from a very trustworthy, reliable source. Like I said, friend of the pod that we all are pretty cool with. So
Yeah, and then I got to meet Big Dom and Nola. So
yeah,
he's big as hell. I know I'm little, but damn, that dude is.
that's a big man right there. Well, I mean, look,
Yeah.
if motherfuckers is calling you big, and you already see that they're a big guy, and they putting the big in front of it, you know they big.
Pause.
Pause. Yeah, pause. So
But
yeah, man. It's not. If that, and I have no
okay,
reason.
let
to
him
believe
be the
that
head coach, bro.
let him be the CEO, big head coach. That's the
Yeah,
true
that's what I'm
CEO right
saying.
there.
If he's willing to take a slight pay bump to what he's getting paid now, and then you take traditionally what you pay a head coach and split that between the OC and HC, I mean the DC.
Not the craziest thing. Not the craziest thing. What's up, Todd? We about to sign off, brother. But watch the playback. We had a lot of conspiracy in this one.
There's a lot of conspiracies, bro.
We're gonna see. Well, Coach, man, always a pleasure. You
Yeah,
have a
bro.
good
I'm
day, night.
doing the schoolwork. This helped take me a break from it's midterms, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. I already know how it go, bro. Well, shoot, I'm glad you got a little break, and I wish you the luck on the rest of your studying, my man.
Yes, sir. Chat GPT.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
All right, man.
Peace.